Good day all. Today we are going to learn the lesson Poets and Pancakes by Asokamitran. This lesson is interesting because it revolves around the struggles of movies and our Gemini Studios, which is very famous in Chennai. Now, as you see in this picture, you have camera and a director's seat. Asokamitran, who is very famous for his books and also very famous who has written about the Gemini Studios, very keen and very close because he worked there as one of the office boys. He is Asokamitran. He died very recently. As you see, he is a book lover and he has written many books too. Now coming to the introduction of Poets and Pancakes. You can even copy this as your notes because I have taken each and every snippet of the question and answers which are usually asked. As I told you, Asokamitran is a very famous writer who writes all the struggles of the Gemini Studios where he worked for years and years. My Years with the boss about whom he is talking is SVSSS, who is a very famous director. He says in this excerpt means from the book he has taken some snippets, like I have taken the snippets for this particular lesson. He has taken some important points and made this lesson name Poets and Pancakes. So he writes about the things which surround, which is among the many things which happened in the Gemini Studios. Pancake is nothing but a makeup element and also a makeup company's name in those days. Vailankanni, one of the most favorite or most famous actress, maybe your parents like her a lot, in those times they have used only this company's makeup. He says from pancake makeup to the office boy of the makeup department, from subbu to the lawyer, every element helped in making Gemini Studios a successful film producing company. So these are the main characters right now in this particular lesson. The makeup department, the office boy, Mr. Subbu and the lawyer, and many poets who came even from foreign countries to the Gemini Studios to prove themselves. Now, he even talks about the heat produced by the lights in the makeup room brought about a lot of discomfort to the actors. Do you know such big lights were placed at the back of the actors to show the light, even if it is night, it has to look like a day. And sometimes it even burns the actors' shoulders, but still they have to smile and act. The writer refers to this pain and trouble as fiery misery. For the sake of money, they have to act, they have to do all these things. The makeup division of the Gemini Studios, he says, was an example of national integration. He says that all the people of different religions, different regions, they came together and worked in this particular department. He says the department was headed by a Bengali who was succeeded by a Maharashtrian. Now he says that different people, like whether it is Kannada, Andhra, a Madras Christian, an Anglo-Indian, everyone worked upon this. The office boy who applies makeup, he says that when he has to act as one of the crowd at the back. And it was so that a big vessel was kept in which makeup was there, and they used to paint the actors. They never used to put makeup, they used to paint the actors. And the beauty which they had naturally was ruined by these makeup, and they used to look like clowns. You might have seen many actors like that in those days, where even the hero had to put lipstick. Now, he says that he joined the studios to become a star actor. Who? This office boy. He wanted to be a screenwriter or an actor or a lyricist. But he was disappointed because every time he tried to prove his talent, no one looked at it, and he remained only an office boy. Now coming to Kottamangalam Subbu, he was called as the number 2. Right hand, left hand they have. He didn't have much knowledge. He had very poor knowledge when compared to the office boy. But he had a smart working attitude, because of which he was always on the top. He was a poet, lyricist, and also an author, an actor, and even a film director. He wrote in the Tamil movie Thillana Mohanambar. He was even awarded the Padma Shri. He was very, very close to S.S. Vasan, the director. Coming to Kottamangalam Subbu, he was also in another clerk. I told you he was not educated, but he was very, very fortunate. He used to gather all the information from the office boy, and he used to stand first and prove as if he had found it. We find many such people in our classrooms, right? He was able to direct the directors. He used to suggest dozens of ways to shoot, which the office boy never had the will or never had the guts to go and do. He even showed acting, and that was acting better than even the heroes who acted in that movie. He wrote incredible poems. Incredible means outstanding poems. He was able to write many complicated ones that could raise him to the status of a great poet. Subbu preferred writing them in simple Tamil to enlighten the majority of Tamil people. So what he used to do is, he was very, very clever. He knows to take a very complicated poem and turn it to a low-class way of writing where even a common man can understand that particular Tamil. That's why he was very famous. He was supported by each and everyone. His 4 special abilities were: he was always looking cheerful at all times. He never showed any tension on his face. He was very loyal to each and every director of his. Filmmaking was very quite easy for him because he has been seeing it right from long time. He was also a poet and a novelist, and also an amazing actor. He had a very amicable nature, a kind and charitable and loving nature. Many of them in the Gemini studios did not like Subbu. They could not become like him. Just like the fox which blamed the grapes might be sour, they also blamed that since he was a Brahmin, he was getting all the attention. But he was getting all this because of his sheer talents. There was one more legal advisor, an important character in the Gemini studios. He worked in the story department. He was a lawyer, but also regarded as legal advisor who never ever gave any proper advice. He also did illegal things. He did many things without permission of the actors and actress. Once an actress got angry emotionally and she started shouting at the producer due to some things. He recorded it and published it somewhere without her permission, because of which he was called an irresponsible advisor. The whole set stood stunned at this, and because of his act, this led to the end of the rising actress. The name of the actress is not given in the lesson. The office boy in the makeup department was always ahead of Subbu in the beginning. Like I told you, he was very intelligent. The problem was he was not smart as Subbu, because of which he could not go into the influential things. Subbu, on the other hand, knows how to woo a person and get his work done. In those days, Congress was the ruling party, and they made the public's life horrible by imposing many curfews and emergencies in the initial years of independence. The citizens were not allowed to gather and have any social gathering meetings. While the whole nation struggled under emergencies, the 600 Gemini staff enjoyed freedom inside the studios as their freedom was not restricted. The movie people had the freedom of doing whatever they want in the studios, so they never had to follow this curfew issues. Now, when you have such things, you also have communism, that is something against the political things. It believes in the equality of citizens and abolition of private ownership. It does not like these curfews. So what these communist people try to usually do is they try to propaganda or they try to speak against the politics, and they gather people to fight against such kind of rules. MRA or Moral Rearmament Army was an international team of actors and actresses that spread anti-communist feelings throughout the world. These people, they came to Chennai and they saw that the Gemini Studios was one of the important studios where anything done in the stage out here would reach the whole of Chennai, sometimes the whole of the country. They went and took permission from Vasan very cleverly that they wanted to stage a show. Poor Vasan didn't know that they were anti-communists who were trying to propose, they were trying to show something which was against the public rules. Vasan, who thought that they were international actors and actresses and it would grow the name of Gemini Studios, gave them the permission to stage the act. MRA staged their plays with hidden anti-communist messages and went away. And it was after some time the director realized that he was fooled and was used. Stephen Spender. You might have heard him, the poet of one of your poems in your textbook. I'll be very happy if you know who it is and which poem he wrote. Stephen Spender was a very struggling poet in those days. Even he came to our Gemini Studios to exhibit his poems and talents. Asokamitra felt that Stephen Spender was his long-lost brother because even he wanted to show his talents, but he remained the office boy for a long time. Asokamitra was also a very good poet. His books came out later and he became famous at a very old age. His lecture was about communism on one side and about his struggles to establish as a poet on the other. The same was Stephen Spender did. Even Stephen Spender did the same thing, Whatever he spoke, it was great, it was hot, and it was very, very attractive and inspiring. His accent, since he was an Englishman, was terrible to the Gemini Studio people who didn't know English. They could not understand what he was trying to say, and they wished that he never ever came back to Chennai again. He is Mr. Stephen Spender. Now, as I already told you, for Asokamitran, training himself as a writer was a passion. He had a nickname Barber because he used to cut the newspaper clippings and magazines and always pasted it on the walls to see what was happening in and around, and also got many ideas for the movies, which was actually grabbed off by Subbu. Asokamitran had a grudge that nothing could weaken if his determination was strong. Among those members of the Gemini staff who embarrassed and confused Stephen Spender's lost speech could understand Asokamitran because his speech was easy. Since Stephen Spender's literary traits and many important political views could not be understood because of his language. Asokamitran's language, if we read from the extract Poets and Pancakes, our present lesson, would be very, very understanding. And it is also a concern that there is no doubt that he acquired it as a part of his quest. He wanted to be perfect as a writer. He encountered many things. He learned many things from the Gemini Studios. He was nicknamed as a barber just because of his thirst for learning. As I told you, he felt Stephen Spender as his lost brother. Now, the points to remember in this particular lesson: Gemini Studios, SS Vasan, Pancake, Asokamitran. He was called as barber, an office boy, a crowd makeup person, legal advisor, illegal advisor, the actress who lost her temperament and lost her job. Tirade on producer, that's her shouting on the producer. Kottamangalam Subbu, the second best or number 2 of the Gemini Studios. He was the writer of Tillana Mohanambal. MRA, the Moral Rearmament Army, an anti-communist group. Frank Butchman, 200 Artists, Jotham Valley, Forgotten Factor, Stephen Spender's Poems and Poets. A speech which no one understood. The God That Failed, which was written by so many authors, and these are the poets who came to Gemini Studios and made Gemini Studios very, very famous. Thank you. Have a great day. Stay home, stay safe.